Hey again, I'm back from northern Maine. Definitely closer to the North Pole than the equator. I ain't in Miami. Supposed to have a few days of good weather here, so we're gonna see what happens or doesn't. We got a bunch of rafters to cut and see if we can start getting them on the roof and hopefully get some sheathing on. Kind of hoping on this trip to have this all covered and dried in. So that's the goal. We're gonna see what happens. See if we can get her done. Got one rafter cut, and up there, you'll notice I got a notch out. That's so the ridge pole slides right in closer to the other building instead of being stuck out on them 2x4s. So I'm gonna fit this thing up, see how it looks. If everything looks good, I'll check it on the other side, make sure everything looks good on the other side. We should be uniform, and we'll go from there. Should be pretty good. I didn't want to just throw it there and nail it and then have something go wrong. That one's gonna nail to the old building, and that's my pattern. So if that one's good, then I can just use that one to start tracing more. Still need to cut my tail, so I need to figure that out, but that's the easy part. Well, start making it happen. That took probably an hour right there to get that all figured out and get that notch cut out, because I want the ridge pole. I didn't want to just nail it, toe nail it onto the end of the edge of the 2x4s that are already up there. So by notching it out, that gets me into the plywood, gives me more meat to nail onto. So yeah. If you want to talk about boring, miserable, mundane, monotonous, cutting rafters is it. I've got some cut stacked up here to my right. I got to keep on hacking them and stack some more to the left. Can't put a roof on till it's done, right? Can't hang it in midair. So if you want to check out some more of the fun aspect of putting these videos together and see where the drum tracks come from, check this out. You can see the fun stuff while I pick away at this boring stuff. Get in the pile. Yeah, more money right there. Another 700 bucks. Those 2x6s plus those rafters you just saw. That chipboard. Yeah, it don't take long to stack up the dollar bills. But that's the roof, or some of it anyway. So how was that? A little more entertaining than watching me cut rafters? I'm getting there. We're gaining. The rafter pile also makes a seat. Time for a seat. Last weekend, homeboy calls me up, see what's going on, and said, well, you know, got the walls up and got them sheathed up. Oh, well, you know, how big is it? So I told him, you know, 32 feet out. Oh, and I can hear the gears start grinding in his head. And, you know, a few of them were jamming up. So he starts trying to figure out how many rafters I need for 16 on center. And I said, I already know I need 50 plus. It should come out to 52 with the overhang, depending on how I do it. I got a couple different ideas in my head. Might need 54. Oh, no, you don't need that many. And then I hear him counting it all out. And I said, dude, I've already got it figured. You know, you're not going to refigure it in your head and tell me, oh, no, you only need 40 rafters. I'm not going to go buy make sure I have 40 to make rafters out of and then come up 10 shy, especially way out here. So, and I recounted, and yep, sure enough, I could have 50 just to hit wall to wall, not including the overhang. Oh, man. Yeah, this is boring, but sucking up the boring now means tomorrow I can put the 2 or 3 collar ties on, get the walls perfectly plumb in between them, and then I should be able to just start putting the rafters up. Don't have to take time to cut them, and hopefully everything goes together right. That would be nice. So they fit on the camp end okay, so theoretically they should fit all the way end to end. We'll find out. Stuff doesn't go to waste. All those wood scraps will get gathered up, and they're either going to go in the fire pit and become food for the food fire, or they'll become heat, one or the other. On the final stretch, 6 more right there to go, and I'm done with them. Can't friggin' wait. This is all I've done all afternoon, is cut these things. So, time consuming. Well, it's coming up on 1900 or 7 for you find folks that can't figure out this 24 hours in a day. So to give you some perspective, it's taken me about 6 hours to do this. So from the time I started this video of getting up on the old camp, fitting, measuring, doing all that, figuring out that first rafter for my pattern, and getting these 50 cut, about 6 hours. Yeah, like I said, monotonous, boring, mundane, but it had to be done. So now in the morning, when I get myself out of bed and get moving, hopefully, I don't have to fart around with this. I can just start in with getting a ridge pole put up there and start putting the rafters in. And that's all I got to worry about as far as the framing goes. Oh, and 2 or 3 cross ties, whatever Dave's bringing me, because me being me, I planned it all out. I wanted to have hemlock cross ties in here, so looks rustic. I didn't forget to make sure I had some 14-foot 2x6s here. I wouldn't do a thing like that. See you in the morning. What profile's best? This one? They're both ugly. Anyway, another day, sun's come up. It was a little nippy in camp this morning. One of the many times that I woke up. But anyway, she's warming up now. So, first thing I gotta do is lay out the ridgepole. And my stud layer outer guy isn't present presently. He's out playing mechanic today. So, I gotta do it myself. So I'm gonna lay this out to match the wall studs so that the rafters come out right on top of the studs. Start cracking. Oh hey, it worked. So what's keeping it from twisting out of there? Because I've notched that out as I showed you before. So it's jammed in there, and a couple of nails. Going together pretty good. I got some twist in that ridge pole I need to work out with my stud twister, aka pipe wrench. But it'll self-support now. So I can take that leg out of there and see when you start getting her straightened out some. This old roof is getting to be in hard shape. Got a sag in it, 2x4 rafters. I just noticed this. This is fairly new. Below this old chintzy skylight. Look at that big freaking hole. That ain't good. It's taken me 2.5 hours to get this far, but I've gotten this far. So next step is get something to eat, and then I gotta cut this collar tie and get that put in. So that's going to be a piece of rough sawn 2x6 hemlock. Right here is a big strap. My walls were tipped out a little bit, which will just screw everything up when you're trying to put rafters on. They were out about 1.5 inches. So through the top of the window holes, I ran the strap, cranked it up, got them straight, just hold everything in place. So after I grab a bite of groceries here, we'll get that cut, get that put in place, get her all nailed in, and keep on keeping on this way. What's for lunch today? Red hot dog. Yep. Red hot dogs are the thing up here, not them brown ballpark Franks junk. No. The real stuff. Oh, and a dill pickle. There's the first 12 feet. It was time to add some more ridgepole and keep on going. So on my last trip, I was talking about this trip, what I hope to get accomplished, and Big D says, well, I think if we can just get the rafters up, we'll be doing good. Well, I think we'll have the rafters up and the sheathing on, and have ice and water on it. So I think we're going to be closer to what I was predicting instead of what he was predicting. So keep on pushing on here. Okay, Dave. I know you ain't here. I know you're out playing real job. But if we can't have all the rafters on, plus sheathing, have this tightened in on this trip, there's something wrong with this. I'm doing the same trick as I did to start off with. I got my third leg sticking out here. Then in there, there's different ways you can splice the ridgepole together. I just butted it together, and I got a splice plate with a clamp at the moment. And when we get done, I'll show you how I did it. So get some, maybe I can't talk. Get some rafters in here, and this thing will hold itself up. All right, got myself squeezed up in here. So I'm in between a couple rafters. Here's the butt joint and the ridge. It was like way over in here. I cut it off, get back in the middle, so I'd have a good tie. I got a plate on the other side too. So she's tied together good. She ain't going nowhere. There she goes. Second section is all done, and that second collar tie is in. Those hemlocks are gonna look pretty slick in here, I think. Well, sit down and take a breather, and then I'll pick on the third. So how am I doing these ridge poles by myself? Well, it takes some moving around, but if you use your brain, you can do it. Here's how I do it. So I've got one cleat on, as you can see, nailed on one side. Now I got a clamp, one clamp. No, that's not how it's gonna stay. Over here, we've got the spanner board going across, just sitting there, and there's the leg. So all I did was my ridge pole was sitting there, and then running up, and was clamped at an angle. Then I had a pivot point. And then I went over there and screwed it together. I put that leg in. Rough height, doesn't matter, doesn't have to be level, doesn't have to be perfect. The rafters are gonna do that, right? So that got it up, holding it horizontal. So that got us where we are now. So now we have this. So now all I have to do is line that all up, clamp it to hold it. There, now she's all ready for some nails. Oh there, I think it's quitting time. Not much left, just a few on the very end. Well, Dave, I guess your plan of if we can get the rafters on this trip, we'll be doing good, is shattered, because there they are. So tomorrow, sheathing. Well, I just get a phone call, so I guess I'm going on the clock and have some work to do tonight. We'll see how that goes. See you in the morning. Dave's tracing out one more rafter this morning, because the rafter guy miscounted or something, came up one short. When I find that guy, he's fired.
I just blame the school you went to.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. That's the same school I went to. Why do you think I'm just tracing?
Here, Dave. Have a power ring.
I don't know if I can eat that. I'm not a cop.
Hose dragger. There she is, folks. Other than the overhang out over the doorway, her rafters are done. Now he's got to throw in some little cripples. Stud in that gable end.
The cripple's on the camera.
Yep. Oh, I need to go get some more nails. Starting to look like something.
Like that, right?
Like, yeah, perfect.
Is that better?
Yeah, just like an engineer would do.
Okay.
Dave's framing in that end, and I'm making him the pieces to do it. Are we gonna do it?
We're gonna do it. Or I'm gonna say screw it.
Something. What do you want? 23?
3/4.
You want 3/4?
23 3/4.
Oh.
To the long.
Oh.
Takes the fun out of it, don't it?
Yeah. Well, putting in the nailer up there. I got a real one. Well, I think we might throw one more collar tie up here, and then Dave can play with his chainsaw. So, them last two pieces in there down flat, or nailers. When the ceiling goes up, got something to nail to. Any last words? In a rare cameo appearance, here's Mandy doing something. I know, you don't see that very often.
Better call an ambulance. I might have a heart attack. Try to claim that's violating child labor laws, you know. Make them do more than video games.
Yeah. Get out and get some fresh air.
Get the stink knocked off. Ooh, that roof looks wonderful behind you.
Yeah, wait till you get down here and look at it.
I don't want to.
You gonna numb that thing up or what?
Like this.
Do something, would you?
I am. I'm running my mouth.
There. 20 minutes later.
I got all day. All I got is 6 more to cut.
Uh-huh.
Then I'm finding a beer.
Uh-huh. Come here.
I am here.
Let's talk. How come you never know?
I don't know.
You don't know. How come you never know? We're screwed. Well, that takes care of putting the rafters up. So it's time to move on to sheathing. So we'll get to that. See you in the next one.